My name is Leroy Robinson and this is my story. My name is Leroy and I'm the son of Hubert Robinson and Jacinda Robinson, who met surprisingly, they met at a funeral which my aunt brought my mother. She was about 17 at the time in a place called Clarendon Cross. They met at the funeral and it seems that they fell in love basically, because even the fact that he lived in Kingston and was working in Kingston and she lived all the way in the country of Above. They always tried to meet. He would visit there regularly, bring food for them. My mom got pregnant with me when she was 18 and I don't think she got to graduate from school. When she dropped out of school, she was in the community of Above there with her other siblings, whereas my aunts and uncles were kids at the time. It was great, you know. They were living a good life, even though they didn't have any mom, because I don't know my grandmother. I never met her. I would have heard of her. Heard she was a nice person though, but subsequently, my father told me that he went for her, basically got a drive, because he was working at zinc factory at the time, Galvan zinc factory, and he got a drive and went for her. He told me that he picked her up from the country and brought her to summer in Olympic Gardens, where she later had me at Jubilee, which is nearby, since it was a Kingston area. I was born on July the 18th, 1978, the first of my parents' children. Well, I remember growing up in Portmore. We had a hill beside the house, so we had good neighbors as well, other children. We would do racing on the road, we would play marbles, we would play elastic, we would do wheel and wire. When it was breezy times, we would have our kite times. I could remember back in the days we had a lot of ginnip trees, so we usually play like hide and seek up in the hills, in the bushes. Sometimes we would run boat and we just go pick ackee and a man tea boat, so my mother flour. The next man sell 2 buckle and buy some cooking, and more time I just ackee and dumpling alone, we cook with another saltfish or whatever business, but we'd have to eat and we youth and we want to enjoy life, so we just always run a boat, either mackerel and dumpling or ackee and dumpling, which was the most likely of the two. It was fun growing up. I remember having my 2 best friends, that's David and Mark Kimmer, and they were good. We all played together. My mom was the type of mom, because most of the neighbors didn't like my mom. They said that she was growing a football team, so to speak. Because every 2 years, mom had me a brother. It worked out well, you know, because at least I got my own friends. I didn't need any other friends to talk or relate to. Since I was the elder, I was like the person come out. But my mom had conceived about 6 of us in total. I remember one day mom was in the kitchen cooking, and it dawned on me. I didn't know what I was thinking. It just came to me, and I said, "Mom, I don't think I want to grow and die in your house." She was shocked. She said, "Why, son?" "Because I want to have my own in life. I don't want to born and grow and die in your house. I want to die in my house one day." And she looked at me and was astonished to know that a little guy that he was just in primary school, just started primary school, was thinking so deep. That's when my other brothers was on the road playing and having fun. I usually stick around because I'm a TV guy. I like the television. Me and mom usually stay and watch TV, or anywhere mom is, I'm itching up beside her in the kitchen. But sorry to say, I can't cook. But well, my living condition growing up was loving, and it had a family setting, but there was only one little problem basically. There was 6 of us on one bed. I remember those days, man. I remember my mom was a housewife basically. She was the one who made sure that all 6 boys fit the car key, wash, iron, and ready for wear every week. Make sure say when we come home, dinner ready, house clean. Mom, trust me, mom had a lot of work to do, man. It wasn't easy raising 6 boys, man. But she did it. I remember at one point, it was 6 of us on one bed. We did that for about a couple of years well, until my father bought another bed, and we had 2 beds in the room. But a little bit after that, family members start coming due to their bad experiences or for help. And that's when we decided that we were going to try to help everybody because we were one family. Funny enough, all of my mom's family spent some time of years at my house because my grandmother wasn't in the picture. My grandfather was possibly too busy. So my mom was the one who wanted to help everyone from coming from the country and try to get alive. So all of my family, my aunts, my uncles, even my cousins, and then the funny thing is that my father's side of family is the same thing occurred as well. Same thing. I had cousins because their mom died early and my father took them in, so we grew with about 5 cousins who come and spend at least maybe 2 year, 5 year or 6 year with us. So right through me and my 6 brothers' life, we've been living with family members. It was a good thing because they helped mom out as well. So it worked out because we get to learn about each other and love and unity, and know that good family structure really can prevail when you have a good set of people around you to grow your ranks. But growing up in my community was very good because it was about family setting, and it's not like now in modern society where as a child can do something wrong and nobody cares or even wants to say anything. If I did anything wrong, I would get slapped by my neighbor, and if my neighbor told me that he's gonna tell my parents that around too. So usually if the neighbor give you a slap, you just hold that kind of one and more repercussions. And they're like, no, if you slap somebody, pick me, but I tell them father to go and kill them or some uncle. I remember going to Elam Basic School when I was very, very young, but it was a nice school. That's the first place I noticed that I had talent, because I saw a friend of mine, he printed something from a cheese strip and put it on paper, and I got amused and amazed that art could be so beautiful on paper. So I started to draw from that age, and then I found out that I had the gift, because the more details I put in my drawings, the better they came out. Well, I graduated from the school and attended Nuggerhead Primary, which was another kettle of fish. It was a good school. I remember, boy, them $20, them $2 days for veggie bun and milk. They were the best of days because my parents didn't have it. I said, wow, man. I remember times, man. I remember going to high school. That's when the time I went to high school, that's when my mom got a job in Grand Cayman and decided to go there for a better life and leave daddy with all 6 of us. So daddy started growing all 6 of us alone from about 1990, yeah, that's when I left primary school. I went to high school. Mom was there, mom did great, man. Mom went to Cayman and spent a couple of years and started adding on that little 2-bedroom house, which was good. She invested with family and the last person she invested in, because the first person didn't do a good job, was her sister's husband, who did a bit of construction in the house, but that didn't work out. Daddy, my old man, wow, Hubert Robinson. Most people call him Bacchus or Jabby. Great man. Imagine one man working to take care of so many people, relatives, family, friends. He looked out for everyone, and his little construction work at the time couldn't help. So my father had to sell marijuana, or most people call it weed or ganja. He had to be selling that at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the night. People been knocking on the window. That's how I found out how addictive weed was, man. Because in the morning when we'd be sweeping out the house, I've got 2 of my father's friends looking through the dirt and see if they find any little stick. But have a little clip of weed that my father had dropped. They searched through the dirt just to build a script. And I'm telling you, that's when I decided that I wasn't going to smoke, because smoking wasn't getting there. I didn't want to be one of those guys moving like a cokehead. But Daddy did his best. He couldn't read or write, but that man could check. Most of the time when he gave us lunch money and he short us, we would rob him, but he always knew something was wrong. Take out an extra 20. Or even apparently sometime we take out some of his weed and I take it to school and sell just to make up lunch money. Because Daddy didn't want to give us money to go to school that time, so we had to hustle. Brighton Phase 1, man, Portmore. It's a nice community, but the saddest thing about it, them always in war with Phase 3. So Phase 1 and Phase 3 always at war. Though the father of my father sell weed and he had the best weed in the community at the time. Most of the bad man them from in the community usually come to my house at various hours to buy weed. I know them man they want charge on them and go find them little thing, whatever the case. The original crew, I think back in those days, they call themselves the hot stepper crew, about 20 out of them. Them man they run off the place and war other communities and them thing there. But we have a good friend in the crew, Champy, God rest his soul, a good youth. He usually come by and par more than on my section. So Champy leave 2 guns with my brothers them, which I never knew about until they told me and trusted me enough that to tell me that they have 2 guns locked for Champy up the road. Well, we had the guns. Usually play with them. I had them as nothing. It was a 9mm and one was like a 357 Magnum, very long, like a Dirty Harry special. I remember times we were in the house playing Daddy's at Work, Mummy's Abroad, because that was the setting back then. We're talking about this is the 90s, early 90s. I was going to Dunrobin High School at the time, first form. And I remember my friend came to me and said, yo Leroy, we're going to dance, you know, we're going to party a bit of Portmore. And I said, yeah man, I said, yo, go carry the thing then. I said, for what? I said, go carry them man, because you never can tell. So me and my other brothers, along with my friend, we invited us to take taxi, go bring up over the party. Then I enjoy myself, I watch the place, because me the eldest one in the crew, so I'm more wise and smarter. Then I enjoy myself. The next thing I know, the guy who invited to come to me and said, Leroy, I know, sir, some man this for them friend and they want me to kill them for them. So I said, nah man, that sounds stupid. Why I want to put myself in a stress for you, I know you're friend. Me and your friend, I'm not coming to come get my life messed up. So next thing I know, them said, no man, we're not there on that. So we look around, we see a couple of people, a group up, man, a group up and a circle the place. So I start get suspicious and I get aroused now, a danger, I wonder if them want to kill we, take what we have. I remember some of you, you know, we should never have them things they're legal, man. But you know, you're young and you know nothing, they're naive. So we stick it out. Then with the party with them, I watch the vibes until one man said leave. Tell them so already. I'm going to tell the man to come here, the leader and say, yo, we're ready, we're cut, come and like the vibes there. So we start move together, watch every minute to look behind in case the body watch we will circle, we start walk and we make a couple little turns on other walkways. And then we meet up on one of our good neighbor van. And I said, we don't have van living in our scheme. Knock up the man. He come out because he was with his woman. The man come out and I said, boy, go on. I will tell them a lie, say we got a party and man want to rush with. And when they're in the vibes with the man, we just want to go home and he say, alright, come stay in the van until they come out. And they spend about 2 hours waiting on him. But when he came, he drove us all the way out to the community because we were threatening one of them that trailer, they might come rush you in the van, or them have a send man for we come kill we or them thing there. So we were glad to get out of the community, and that's when I noticed that this gun thing is not a fun thing, and I would advise nobody to do it because if I wasn't there, my brothers who are younger and not thinking like I was, then they get in trouble. Because then they get pressed and go kill people and are either dead too, or have to run there, or go to prison. I mean, I think no fun in that in their life. Boy, being a teenager wasn't fun and it wasn't nice at the time. Being a teenager was rough, especially with relationships for me basically. I was too much of a coward. I was thinking everybody's gonna get son when it comes to females at least. So when back in the 90s, about 91, 92, my neighbor moved across and we became good friends. She was a nice girl and all. I wouldn't tell you her name, but trust me, she was the one that opened my eyes and let me know that I can stop watching porn because I was too addicted. Because when you're not getting any romance or any loving from nobody, the movies tend to work out for me. I didn't do anything obscene in it or help myself to any bad gesticulation during watching it, but I just watched it and looked and imagined that I was a person doing the stuff to the girls, and it kind of helped me out. But it got really dangerous when I had to be going and addicted, when I had to be following a friend of mine who was always addicted, but he was an adult. We would go to some various parts of Portmore just to get a video cassette. I don't know if nobody know about VHS at the time, but me tell you, that used to run the cut back in the day for me. But it was lovely, the thing worked out. I got out of the addiction and George and I were secretly just being good friends and all and trying to make a good life for us, for our parents, to make us proud by going to school, because she was going to Tivoli and I was going to Dunrobin. So she introduced me to her best friend, and that didn't work out, although a month after she got pregnant. I guess I was too shy of a guy to even want to have sex with the girl. I thought I was going to break her. I was so naive, man. I could go back in time certain things, but I guess that's just how life is. You can never make predictions on what's going to be the outcome. Well, subsequently, I'm the only one of my mother's 7 children to graduate from a high school in Jamaica. My 4 brothers who followed me didn't work out. Back in the day, my grandma came to Jamaica and suggested to my father that she wants to take one of us to England with her, because most of my family relatives are from England, basically. At the time, I left school in '96 and I got a job at Caribbean. It was nice. I was a handyman there. We usually strip containers of tires, batteries, oil, anything to do with the vehicle, lubricants and all that. We usually pack them up to the roof. I think it was the best time too, because I got a lot of exercise. At least I had six pack then. I know 2 pack is dead, but I had 6 pack then anyway. Yes, when my grandma came, and my brother was in some mix-up because he dropped out of school. My second brother wasn't doing so well. So when my father came to me, I told him, I said, "Daddy, make Gregory go on. Make Gregory go on." I was working. I said, "Daddy, me and Gregory in my car and some mix-up, and I don't want nothing to happen to him. I could never that brother and let my brother out and he said there." So I told my brother that I was okay, I'm good to go send my brother, and my brother went to England, and trust me, it was the best decision that I ever made, because he took up 3 of my other brothers, he and his wife, because they got married and got a couple kids, and that worked out and all. Wow, my first time going on a plane, man. My mom invited me to try out Grand Cayman, so I said, might as well, let me try my luck. I never knew it was such a hard thing, because she never told me that I needed to have spending money to come to Grand Cayman. I thought I would just go there, she received me, and that was it. Being naive and everything. Immigration held me for like 2 hours after reaching Jamaica, after reaching Cayman at about 12 o'clock. The immigration officer asked me if I had money. I told her no. Asked me who was receiving me. I told her my mom. And the next thing the lady said that I ain't got no manners because I had an earphone around my neck and it was plain low. She called me, "Boy, you have no manners, boy, because sit down over there, some boy." So I said to her, "Excuse me, that has nothing to do with manners. That has something to do with intelligence. Because sit down, boy." So I wasn't taking it as anything until the immigration officer circled me. About a dozen of them. Say I must apologize to the immigration officer. I'm like, "Me no do nothing. We don't want you nothing. If you apologize, you say you have no manners. You have no manners." So that's how the thing was really getting real serious and out of state. They brought me to her and I apologized, and she accepted. And when they left, she called me back, took my passport and said, "Look, you know, boy, if it's one thing, look, it's the last flight of Jamaica, you know. If I want him, I send him back tonight, you know. You try to come back early, I'm gonna come catch a first flight out of this country." So they released me to my mom, and I went out there, and her boss was out there because she was doing housekeeping in Cayman at the time. About 4 houses in the community. Because she worked at a golf course, and another time at the hotel. She was a workaholic. Mom was always working hard. So when I found out, and then when I actually went to the house with her and she was staying in Cayman, my mom was sleeping on a chair. And I thought all along Mom had a nice little room sleeping. It's like she was a living helper who slept on the chair and washed and cooked for the people. And then she leave from that house and go to another house next door and do the same thing, and that's how she added on the house and made us comfortable. But she was a hard-working person when she went to Cayman. Mom made sure 6 boys didn't have school clothes, school shoes, lunch money. Summer everybody get clothes for shopping, money for shopping. She did it all. Mom did her best. And it was like when I reached home and came out with my mom and I spent the night, I woke up the next morning in Grand Cayman for the first time, really looking at the place. I'm like, "Oh man, this place is small, man. This part more bigger than this place, man. And they got no rivers, no mountains. So you know, so you need to go Ricky and then people like that. Nah, they ain't even got no factories, man. I remember times my mother had to buy cutlass to carry to Grand Cayman, man. Just for them to use to chop the yard and everything. And then have no company for me, nothing over the place then. But Mom decided that she was going to fight it, and we drove to the immigration officer the next day. The immigration officer in Grand came and asked them why I couldn't get a chance to stay in Cayman. They said they didn't have any money. They sent me back to the immigration at the airport. They said that the immigration officer said that they didn't have any manners. And then they sent us to another immigration officer and they say another thing. I said, Mommy, you know what? I can't go here. I'm not staying and kiss me as for you. When the people come to Jamaica, we treat them good. So when you come and say, no, look opportunity and they treat me like some stranger or some culprit. Anyway, reached Cayman the night before 12 o'clock, and the next day, we reached Jamaica by 1 o'clock. Not even 24, I don't think that's 24 hours, no, that's 12. Anyway, that was my first time flying. It was the worst experience. I decided to try it back again in about 2002. Working at car break until my boss came sick leave and tell him, say, me I go to England, because he never liked me, you know. He didn't want to know my business, you know. So I went to England and I didn't tell my boss. And then when I reached England, because back in those days you could use invitation letters. So people sort out the communication system and sort out the letter and everything. And I was on a plane for the first time for over 8 hours going to England. Man, I reached the place and the immigration had me for not about 6 hours straight. I was in immigration. And then they were like, would you like a cup of tea? I know I ain't got no coke in my belly, so I'm gonna drink tea like a wall to move on and so eat and drink. Because we know me legal, I ain't got nothing to hide. So when the immigration officer came to me and said, you know Mr. Robinson? I said, yes. I said, we'll call the boss on Caribbean who gave you the letter. And he says to tell you that when you come back to Jamaica, you no longer have a job at Caribbean. In my mind, I'm like, what a wicked little prick. He said that I was trying to leave Jamaica for a better life, and he wouldn't even lie for me, just shell it out even more. So I told him that he was an ass because he hated my guts. That's why I didn't tell him my business. As they can see, to how he reacted, it was truly a bad mind person. The immigration officer, she was nice. She looked young because I was like, Mama, that person such a young girl. She looked like about 18, 19. Pretty black girl. Came to me with the accent. Mr. Robinson, he said that you can't stay in Jamaica because you're in people and things and your boss this and that. I'm saying my boss is a problem. I'm asking you, please give me a chance in this country because I just want to visit and see my family. I haven't seen my brother in ages and he got a new child and I wanted to see my niece. So due to that fact and the good conversation we were having, she decided to give me 2 weeks in England with stipulations, strict stipulations. First of all, I had to relinquish my passport and I had to take mug shots like some criminal thingy. Side way, front way, that way there. And when I reach at the house, I have to call them like 3 times per day. And when I'm coming back to Jamaica, I have to call them like 2 hours before. So I was basically like a prisoner on probation, but it was glad to be in England, so I did that. And they released me to my family and we went home. Even though we didn't go to much parties, my brother tried his best. Because he hustled and all in England with his daughter and his wife, they took me in. For the first couple of days, I mostly played games there now. And that's where I found out that in the UK, people, they do things a bit different there. Because when it comes to their electricity and their water and their heater, they just pay it like for the month and they get a little thingy and push it to the wall and they can have hot water and light and stove gas and everything. They just buy it the time for using it. England was nice. I went to a couple of pubs. Couple parties here and there, went to shopping, saw the Big Ben clock, drove over a big long bridge and even saw the James Bond building, and I'm a fan, so that was great. And we walked through 2 hours of a plaza. I've never seen that before in Jamaica. There's this big plaza shopping and all. Well, I stayed there and decided that, you know what, I'm coming back to Jamaica because I didn't want to live like a criminal after be hiding. And at the time I didn't want to get my brother into any trouble because he worked hard to set his thing. And I didn't want to come all the way from Jamaica and mess his thing up because he had a young daughter as well. So I came back to Jamaica and I met a woman on a bus and we started a conversation and we ended up in a relationship after coming back to Jamaica. We met in '98 and by '99 she she was pregnant, and she decided it was best to get married since she was an Adventist and they was going to rule her out of church. So we decided to try that route and we got married, and our son was born. I named him Lemar, L-E from Leroy, and M-A-R from Maria, which to me was a good gesture because two people combined to make a life, Lemar and Leroy and Maria. But Lemar wasn't a normal child, man. Imagine getting your first child, you know? And versus a boy, I say, yeah, your name can go on and your name can reason and your son, you know? Young Robinson. But boy, my case wasn't meant to be in that scenario. My son ended up having autism, which made life very, very frustrated at times. Imagine having a child I can't communicate with. Levan, take off your shorts and pull it up. Levan, take off your shorts and drop in the shirt. Levan, take off your shorts and take off your slippers. Levan, take off your shorts, take off your shorts and lift up your shirt. It's like his brain can't compute everything. There's a million different things going through his head. So we tried everything, but it didn't work. I went to a couple of seminars and they told me about autism and things, but he had to be trained. I never knew about human until late, but we tried our best. Parenthood, never easy job. Never easy job. Worse when you have autistic son. Pampers, trust me, you have to buy that, like, because if he has autism, he doesn't go to the bathroom and use it like a regular child. He doesn't talk, he doesn't communicate well, he can't even hold a pencil good, man. Because he tried schools, but most of the schools wasn't trained to work with him. So it didn't work out. And most of his work while he attended that school, he said aided, which means not everything he helped him write one circle, write one X. And I said, that doesn't make no sense. Then when I took him to children's hospital, they gave him tablets to calm his nerves. And all the tablets did was made him sleep. I'm like, what the hell sense of a child into this world where they sleep every day? And now, you know, even though it was better for me, because it was less stress having to worry that this was going to run through the gate if it was left open and people have to go search for it. But that has been the case at times. But the problem I was having with being married at such a young age to an Adventist is when that Adventist to me is broken. Go through too much stuff when she was younger, man. So when the real relationship comes, she didn't have a clue. Can you imagine having a phone and your wife or run your done fiancé phone? I never knew how to hide a receptionist. Never knew how to hide a receptionist at all, man. And it was sad though. It was real sad, you know? Knowing that your son have autism, and then again your baby mother is the type of woman where you can't talk to. Because she's the type of woman, if you're ever out anywhere you are talking to somebody, she has the interpretation that you're chatting her. I remember one time my auntie come there, man. My auntie was there, the auntie Stacy were there talking and laughing. And then, Lee, can I speak to you? I said, shit, here we go again. Go in the room. Me, you wanna laugh? You sure me, you wanna chat? Maria, I don't know what you're talking about. You sure you're not there? So Maria, that's my aunt. Are you crazy? They will what? You idiot? And that's our conversation. Insecure and naive. I'm a little secretary. Run me down for answer my phone. My friend didn't call me. She cussed them off. Said, then figure look at family because me have a woman and pitney. No one liked her, man. No one liked her. And then she was brainwashing this Adventist thing as well. She even smelled pork next door. She started pretending she had vomit. That was rather dumb. She hated pork that much. But I never forget one time my mom come from abroad and bring pork and bean. I would cook it and she knew it. I don't know. If she never know, maybe she would have dead to mama. But it didn't work and it couldn't work. We were two different people. She was just too broken. And after that I investigated her after we left. Because we left from first, we moved out. But relationship wise it wasn't working out. So we decided to call it quits, and at the same time I lost my job in Caribbean and I was at home for a while, so I decided to check my political link, so to speak, because I had a friend. Unemployment and being a parent, not a good life. And then again, I'm a workaholic. Both my parents worked hard, so I knew what it felt like to actually get things done through financial hard work. I had a friend, my mother had a best friend, a teacher how to sew. That lady was Fitz Jackson's secretary for years. So PMP was in power, and I went to her because a friend of mine told me that he was working at JUTC and she got in the job. So I went to her and I said, Mums, you know my mom and all, and I'm doing it for my child, and to tell you the truth, I need some help, I need a job, I'm not the idling type and stuff. And she said, alright, go over JUTC tomorrow. It was a Saturday. I went this Sunday. She said, talk to her little name, Miss Cherry. So I went there about 2 o'clock and met Miss Cherry just like that, no test, no nothing. And I said, Miss Face, she said, how are you? And she asked me one first question. She said, I said, Krista, you live right at your PMP. And I think quick and fast, I said, then I don't have a voter's ID, I don't know about politics. But I said, I'm PMP man, power man. And she said, oh, cause one thing I don't like a fucking labor right. I said, oh my gosh, how can I hope this? Anyway, she said, you have to go, your job have to clean the bus, then you're going to be a sweeper man. You reach here at 6 o'clock, sweep the whole compound, and to go those rubbish pot. When you done that, you help clean the bus glass, either sweep or bus, either clean the bus glass. But the big mission ready boys bus, so usually get around and collect them and clean them with newspaper and vinegar, white vinegar we used white vinegar and newspaper to clean the glasses. And after we done sweep the yard every morning, we help my sister cleaning the buses, and we use the white vinegar and a piece of cloth along with newspaper. So we have a big old garbage bag full of newspaper and then buy the liquid by the gallon basically. That job now for 6,400 a fortnight, trust me. It was hard man, because it's like a 24-hour job. We have shifts, and night shift you sweep bus one night, or you use the machine and clean the buses the outside, and sometimes the machine broke down, you have to use bucket with soap and a big push broom, and you wash the bus side while the list man use the hose to make sure the buses are clean to go out in the morning to work with the public. While I was working there and thing, my partner, she moved out the second time, and I made up my mind that was it, because we made it up to our child, and I'm saying like, man, it didn't make no sense, but at the end of the day, is happiness. I wasn't happy with her, she didn't know me, she wanted somebody to control her, and that wasn't me. I tried her way for living for a couple of years. As we recover, I go straight home. I did even call my friends for 2 years just to please her. And I'm like, no, why should I compromise my happiness for somebody else who don't care about my happiness? So that didn't work out. Anyway, my aunt told me about a clip that she saw in the Gleaner that the correctional department of correctional service was doing a recruitment. And she said, no, say if you try it, guy, you can do something with your life. But honestly, I was stereotyped at the time. I was like, prisoner, Batman. So I got my documents ready, and I remember reaching there with my past papers and my results and everything ready in my little file jacket to try my luck in becoming a correctional officer. Lord, it wasn't an easy road. Reached up from about 9 o'clock, joined one line like a snake. Going in the line, then this guy comes to me and look at my ear and said, hey, yes, Pierce, man. I said, yes, sir. Man, I said, you out? I remember coming out the line and just stand up, watch people going in and thinking to myself, no man, this can't be it. Something better than this must be in store for me. And to tell you the truth, I spent the whole day there, you know. I'd walk up and down the compound until about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. I not left, I not joined by the line, but I not left. Because I'm there thinking, I said, no man, something more special about wanting to get into this career and not to get in a fight. And I remember I'm there, and then the deputy commissioner at the time, this June Jarrett, was closing off at about 5 o'clock and thanking people for coming out. And she said to us, I said, notice I see a couple of people walking up and down the compound, what's going on? And some of us voiced our voice and said, Miss, we want a career, we want a chance. I wasn't given that chance. Miss Jarrett gave us a chance of millions, man. She gave us an opportunity. That woman, if it's one good thing she done for me in my career, is give me a chance. No one wanted to take the chance and give us a chance, and she did. Yeah man, went in there, my Englishman, bought out that maths give me a warm time, but trust me, by the grace of God, God sent one of the invigilator come help me, because he hate maths. When you hear that truth, maths, he hate maths like poison. Get through. And we were given at least a couple of days to come back and do a pre-med. Mama, that's another kettle of fish. Me have a tattoo When we reach our ex-superintendent name, Mr. Flynn, I talk about, take off the shirt, can't talk fine enough. Go there and start pulling my shirt because I wear a tall sleeve button. Start pulling the button and reach a third button, then he stops me because a female recruit came to him and questioned him. And he was there for about 15 to 20 minutes talking to her, and I opened my shirt, I didn't take it off. I was saying to myself, Mama, I'm never beat that man, I don't let him see my tattoo. Trust me, I've had this from 96, I guess I don't follow people, but it worked out, man. By the time the man come back to me and said, you? But just stop buttoning up my shirt and walk with him and say, you see me already, sir, thank you. At the end of the day, he didn't know him, mind the farmer still said, check the area and walk with him. Reach out another big man now, Mr. Rogers. Me and him later became good friends, you know, but at the moment he gave me a chance as well because I wasn't seeing well due to the fact that I have a little high problem. But he said I was nervous. He said, you're nervous, man, because I was fumbling on the letters on the chart. And I said, go over there and relax, man. So I went over there and memorized the whole thing, to tell you the truth. And when he knocked back at me, I told him I was ready. I just gave him to the memory box and the high wasn't so 100 and tell him everything. And look to the good high and tell him everything. And so, alright, I passed, go over there. At training school now, reach training school, me and my uncle was in the same intake. Because I wanted to share the glory, so after I passed that test, I told my aunts and uncle about it and they decided to do the test. And my uncle was calling me for me because he called me and told me, and then they called me a couple of days after and told me that training at Newcastle at October, which made my intake the only intake that ever trained at Newcastle. And look at that, I always want to turn soldier, look at that, eh? Train at Newcastle and live soldier life, how good is that? Yeah man, Newcastle man with my 64th intake. Man, up there was cold when they up October in 2003, Christmas around the corner. We up in the hills of St. Andrew, I think it's St. Andrew, yeah. Proper cold, man. Trust me, I was there, wanting to learn, wanting to pass everything, even when I'm tired, I decided to make 100% because what, I need a career, I need something tangible, a future for my son, you know. Because he trust me, he need all the help he can get. So there at Newcastle, I earned the name Good Boots. I guess my shoes and my it was a name given for recruits who had a good report, just so to speak. Whereas you're properly shaven, your shoes is properly clean, your clothes is neat, it don't have any furs on it, because you had to sleep on a wool type of thing. And I got the name Good Boot because I've got the bet. I got most of them at training school. I think Nelson Thompson caught me with 6. I was leading with 6 at the point. He caught me with the last week of training at Newcastle. So it worked out. I graduated the 2003 February. Went into the institution. Now that was another challenge. Man, trained by soldiers. Man, with the rough man. Yeah man. A comedian man with that Newcastle man, I'm the one who runs the jokes and build the vibes and command respect by my peers as well, because I tell myself that I don't want to be a father, I prefer to be a leader. So most of the times I make suggestions and sort things out to get things moving in the proper directions. Left Newcastle, gone back to the system now for the first time, American Remand Center. I did attachment there, it wasn't bad. I spent 3 weeks there before graduating. It was good, I like the setting. As I said, we were rough, we were trained by soldiers who didn't, soldiers were trained for war. And when they gave soldiers to train correctional officers, I think they made a huge mistake because I think in our intake we became the most bravest and boldest people within the department. Males and females weren't scared of nobody, no inmate or anything or any situation. We were just trained to just go in and get the thing solved. Working in the institution wasn't bad at all, man. It was an adventure, man. Trust me, man, the first week I went there, this guy told me, say, I'm a serious man and he kill people and them things. And I tell him, say, brother, I'm tell you this, I want him to tell you, say, right about now, I'm here on your son. You want to run road or you run road, but you say, yes, son. We run here, sir, because we don't skin teeth with them. So at them time, we usually have to meet all types of people, rapists, murderer. Remand was a place that got a house bad inmates, whereas inmates on life sentence who was given trouble at other institutions, they would house them at the remand center just to kind of soften them up or kind of change their mind from the setting as punishment basically. But they usually like it because they have modern facilities, toilet care use, and they used to not carve a thing in a bucket. I'm going to chew in a pit at a morning time, so they didn't like it. When you leave your home and your family and go to that workplace, man, remember, you're not sure you're going to go home, you know, because it's a very dangerous place. Criminals attack criminals attack officers. You never can tell us when Africa, remember you're in a place with all types of criminals, rapists, murderers. Trust me, they're all there, and it's a very dangerous job. And where I'm at the remand, they're just there as remandees, you know. So if they go to court and the judge says not guilty, and they have a bucking at the public, you know. So no man see you and no respect you, and like how you're treated while in custody, you know how that block off for them road a road. You road and a prisoner for your yard. But once we had each other's backs, because we were trained, as I hear the whistle blow, you run, and it's coming like if them program it. But you hear the whistle, as somebody get attacked, especially an officer. And them time they just have to just dig it in. Well, I've always had a passion for driving. And trust me, while working at the remand center, and I found out that they had their own transport center within the department of DCS. I tried every means necessary to go on the driving thing. Because at the end of the day, I was the family's designated driver. Man, anybody want to know where mommy or brothers or sisters come from abroad that want to go country, them sought me out, them look for me. And I was a designated driver, no matter the size or type or how the vehicle's driving or condition, I bring everyone back, everybody home, safe and sound. Whether I applied for transport and I got through and went on driving course. And I remember I was in an incident with a correctional officer who was a driver from transport, and I knew going to transport would encounter that person. So I was there for the first week looking for that person because I knew they didn't like me that much. So when I saw them, that person went to the superintendent of transport and told them a bag of lies and me training him and all that of stuff. Well, the guy told the superintendent a bag of mumbo jumbo. Then the superintendent called me. Who's Robinson? While I'm on my second week of driving course. Who's Robinson? Who do Robinson? Come on, if you want somebody like that to work with me. I said, good, because I'm an ex-soldier and some use discipline for him because I have brains. So I said, sir, with all due respect, there are two sides to a coin. Welcome to me your side. So I went into his office, had my hand behind me the whole time, showing him respect as soldiers do at his position. Introduced myself and told him the situation that occurred between me and his driver. I even picked up for the driver and told him that the driver was even such a good person that when the other officers were telling him expletives and behaving boisterously, he held his own and composure and didn't respond, which I admired. So while I was there, he commented me, he said, but Mr. Robinson, this is how you are always well, because I spoke proper English and also him in the office there, and he was intrigued. And the superintendent of the transport told me to go back to my class because he had no problem with me. So I was there in the start and passed. I was the first one in my driving group to actually pass the test. Two of us passed. The other guy was driving trucks before. I've never driven big vehicles because we were taught to drive coaster buses. I passed, and me while I was driving, the other group was there still learning how to drive at least another 2 months after I started driving, so to speak. It was good enough. The job entailed picking up staff for duties, especially night duties, and dropping them off from early night duties. Day duties comprising of taking officers and inmates to KPH or any other medical facility, or taking officers on special duties that were there with the needs of a transportation center to address their needs. Transport was good. I liked it. I loved it. But the problem is when you're working at somewhere where that is not established, you won't be promoted. So I've been there for about 5-6 years, and I've never. Meanwhile, my colleagues who were at my plant institution, remand center, they were getting promoted to corporals, and I was just there as a CO1, working so very hard. I think I've been, even though God has blessed me with my first child, I've been autism. Trust me, the Lord also made up for that one basically, because I met another woman, so to speak, and it was going good, and we decided to have a relationship, and she got pregnant. Sadly, she didn't conceive that child because she lost that child, but after she lost the child, she moved in with me because she had problems at home with her family. Because she was a country girl living all the way in the grill, and she come to this side to live anyway. I got 2 kids with her, and we ended up buying a house together through NHT. We were there living nice, having a happy family, but I decided to follow in my father's footsteps and help people. So her mother came and lived with us, and she went abroad to try to make life better for the family of us. But I tell you, life sometimes all that glitters is not gold at all. I tell you, it never work out with she either. So I ended up moving out of the family house that I bought for me in there because she and her family decided they want to run things. We woke up prison. I never got prison for she never hurt it on no more. Oh boy. Got my little boy and my big daughter, man. But the greatest thing both of them are right. My daughter and my son are okay. They don't have no age or signs of autism. Thank God for that, because they did a threat to them. I had to leave out there. I had to leave. Their mom, she wanted to draw the bad things out of me. Prison wasn't on the agenda. Yes, man. So I went home and lived with my father. Went back home, lived with my father for about a year. I brought my partner with me because I moved on. I didn't care no more. We were there living with daddy for a year, and then my brother came back in the picture, he and his partner, which my father had told her to leave because of her behavior, basically. They came back into the picture, and then after that, couple of months, about a month after they came back, my father got ill. Spent about 3 to 4 days in the hospital, then just died. It was a shock to all of us. But the funeral was conducted in Clarendon, and it was on the 15th of July, so we buried daddy and all, and by the 17th of July, the Tuesday, I felt good, you know. Same feeling that my neighbors were so good to support the family with the funeral, because they all came, man. Everybody knew my old man came to the funeral. And we were there about 2 o'clock. Next thing I know, 2 gunmen. Imagine the most terrifying time of your life, huh? Imagine that. Man. Next thing I know, we were there sitting up in a conversation and just talking about life, and when I look up, all I see is 2 gunmen. I know one of them, but they were approaching, and the person at the front had a gun, so I got up and ran. I was in a group of 4 people having a conversation beside my house. I got up and ran. They ran too. As I started running and make about 5 steps, I found my left foot at the calf burning. I heard a shot, so I knew it must have been shot. Then I felt my right wrist where the shot has grazed. One grazed the right wrist and the other one went through my foot. And I felt weak and I dropped. And from I got the shot, I couldn't move my toes or my ankle. I got shot, and when I got the shot, I remember before my father died, I asked him about a neighbor who they called Duffy. And I don't call it the Duffy by myself. You know, so Duffy in front of and I move and the police shoot them up. Duffy, the only one survived, guy pretends I'm dead. So when I got the shot and found in my mind that thought quick and says 2 people approaching me and that fell and dropped. I pretended I was dead. I even stopped my own breath just to give them the convenience, just to convince them that I was dead. And while I was there lying down, all I could do was pray. I was praying to God, said, Lord, please don't let these guys come over me and give me a headshot or shoot at my body. Please, I prayed. I never prayed so hard in my life. I was there lying down, and next thing I knew, I heard my neighbors coming and talking. What going on? I'm here shot, what going on? So I put my hand up and tell them, so I get shot up, I stand up and take time to start, got towards them, and I got weak and I was dropping, and Hector came, grabbed me up, and he took his marina off and tied my knee, because he said when he saw me the blood was just pushing through my foot, because I didn't know that the major vein in my left foot was damaged so badly. He and the other neighbors came as well, and I told them to put me in the car, because one of the guys who was driving the car who came to visit, he subsequently ran into a neighbor's house for shock and fear of his life, and we had to wait half an hour for him. Meanwhile, my partner came in the car and was there with me and trying to just make sure I was comfortable. He came on the spot, took us to Spanish Town Hospital, and they did an x-ray, then we did an emergency surgery. which knocked me out, and then I woke up to have both my foot, even though it was covered and all. While there in the hospital, man, I got visited by my barbering group, man. Subsequently, some months before that, I was enrolled in a barbering course, me and my colleagues from work, to represent the BCS, and it has been a great feat because we reached at least 80% of everything until this thing occurred to me in July. But it was quite supportive, you know, because my teacher and my lecturers visited from the school where I was doing the barbering and showed me their support. Even the principal gave me a call and asked me how I was in the hospital. Colleagues donated bags of blood for me to help with blood. Also got a lot of drip and medication and stuff, trying to get back the nerve in my foot to respond to blood vessels, but it wasn't working. Actually looked at it and see that it was getting black. So I knew that something was wrong, and it even smelled. So when the doctor came to me on the 26th of July and said, Mr. Robbins, we have to amputate the foot. And I knew that was the level that they had reached due to what I smelled and saw. So by the 27th they came in the night and did this is my second operation at KPH and took my leg off basically. When I woke up out of surgery, my foot was sewn and everything, and I was actually on my way to my room, my bed at the hospital. When I woke up and found that I only have one leg, it dawned on me that my favorite thing that I loved in the world, which is my hobby, was to dance. I got great reviews from dancing and got quite the girls' company to dancing. It made me depressed because I remember one morning I wake up and I was balling down the place, you know, even the escort them and say, Robbie, what happened to you? And they say, why me? Because I got through so much in life, I got through a son with autism. Yeah man, I went through a state of depression, man. I cried every minute, knowing that I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do. I had so many plans with my kids. Because at the time it was 3 and possibly 4. It's another story, but let's say it's 4 then, because until I do a day in here I won't be sorry, but I'm going to work with the 4 for them. Sorry about 3. The greatest thing is that all my baby mothers came to the hospital to look for me. It was surprising, all of them came to the hospital to look for me, which was good, it made me feel good. But the fact that I had so many plans for me and my kids and family, and it won't be working out. I wanted to take them to Dunsingham Falls, climb the falls with them and let them have that memory for the rest of their lives. Man, I don't think I'll be able to climb no falls in my state. So that put me through a state of depression. They discharged me by the 29th or the 30th or so from hospital. Taught me how to use a crutch, and I decided I wasn't going back to Portland due to the fact that this happened to me being an innocent bystander and actually almost losing my life. So me and my partner, we were in the country taking it easy. I had my foot bandage up and stuff, and she was there right through to get 2 visits per day. She was there for both of them. Sometimes when she come here, I cuss her, vex and fall because it was just so frustrating. But the support was overwhelming. My BCS family, my father and family, even some people, my previous co-workers from Carry Break and other places I went. But the thing that drove me the most is that my children and my partner and my family, you know, I didn't want to put them through too much of stress, so I wanted to do my best to try to show them that I know what I'm doing and I know that life is important and I have to move on and get past this because this is not the end. My kids motivated me and my partner as well because she loved me that much, and my mom, man, trust me, that woman is a strong woman. She called me almost every 2 days from Camp King, man, to ask me if I'm okay and everything. She was so good, still is good basically. But the motivation part came about when I had to give my kids a future, because the first one has autism, is 19 now. And my other 3 kids, the biggest one just started high school and the last 2 is in primary school, at Nagahead Primary School that I attended back in the day. It wasn't easy. I remember the first week of being, because I didn't go back to Portland, I went to the country to get my peace of mind and get my safety in aspect. It was frustrating to me to know that I can't do the things that I always wanted to do, and I was cursing myself and even asking God, why going through this is like part 2 of my stressful life. My son helped me get a huge amount of grey hairs with his autism. I've been to work night shifts for 5 years just to stay within the base because no other family members wanted to clean a big boy's pampers. But it's my child, so I had to do it. His mom decided, I took him to his mom, and she decided that she ain't gonna take him, so she left him at a home back Stony Hill. And to tell you the truth, I haven't gone to see him as yet, because to me he's in prison and I'm a warden, and I didn't want that for my first child, so mentally I didn't want to see him in that place because it's like a prison to me. Although I've been told that the Catholic guys take care of him there, but soon I got to gather the strength and go look for him. I think he's been there 3 to 4 years now. I haven't got to see him out now, but trust me, life goes on. The thing that motivates me most is that this could have been worse, could have died. It could be big, I'm going to get shot through foot and could have get a spinal shot. Well, the greatest thing is that right now at the moment I'm on sick leave. The department has given me some time to heal. I'm planning on going back to work soon because I'm a workaholic. I've taken in a vacation for the past 4.5 years. Trust me, it has been, I have gathered enough strength to know that there is more to life, and I think in my own retrospect that the Father has more in store for me. That's what I've been telling myself, and it seems to be working out because, trust me, in this situation it could have been worse. So I will tell anybody who in this situation not to give up, never to give up. I'm still going to barbering class. I'm going to finish my level 3 barbering. It's my little skill thing. I'm not giving up. I'm going back to work. I ain't going back to my baby mother, you know, that stress. I want a little place for myself. Me and my partner, my kids can come visit her, do my own little thing, I have my own little family. So without telling anybody, say people never give up on life. Never. You never know what life gets going to throw at you, but you need to find things that you love to motivate you. Mine was my partner, my family, and my relatives, and it came true for me. I just know that the good Lord is going to bring me through, and I have faith. The fact that I'm here, this is the greatest present in life. The greatest thing is that I'm going to be back on my feet, people. I'm going to be, through the grace of God, I'm going to be back on my feet. I've contacted a company, and they're going to sell me a good, properly new prosthetic leg for 750,000 Jamaicans. It sounds like a car money, but I guess it's worth it in the road. At least I won't be able to drive it, but walk it. I'm not giving up, man. I'll be on my feet shortly. It's a good foot. I've done many research on YouTube, and I see where people walk and are living comfortable lives. So I know good Lord. I don't see the funds yet, but I know the good Lord is going to come up and things is going to work. I'm a man of faith. Trust me, God of God. I'm here for a reason, and I know it's going to come into play. I know He has plans for me, and I know I'm going to see things and do things that I never would have done. Because I've even started. Since being on sick leave, I was in the country, and this lady at the clinic invited me to come to their youth club and give them a speech about hearts and the correctional services. It worked out well. I gave them about 5-hour conversation, and at the end of it, the chief that ran the club invited me on their beach trip. So in Heroes Weekend gone, I went to Portland, Somerset Falls. I went there before, didn't go in the pool at the time I went, nor on a boat. This time I took the opportunity to go in the pool and even go on the boat straight up to the falls, climb out the boat and stood up under the falls and enjoyed it. So I told myself that life is about second chances and things that I wanted to do that I didn't get to do. I'm going to do my best to get them done in Jesus' name, you know. Life is the greatest thing. You have some people out there who want to kill themselves, trust me, what do I think? Maybe in my situation and so happen and say, oh, you come back from the death camp, trust me, and then you come back from. Because the doctor said if my leg wasn't tied, I would have died in the car within half an hour of losing so much blood. I would have run out of blood and died. So if I'm dead, so I'm a gunshot. Sister God give me a second chance. So anybody one of them struggles and them stress me, one of those have faith in God, because God do all things through Christ which is possible. Just hold in faith, never give up. Believe, I have faith, I have something to motivate when I make sure I have good support group and people I want to call, because thank God I did. I had family, friends and relatives who were there. And I made up my mind that I had to live for them, just to show them that I'm appreciative of the fact that they have been there. So people never give up the fight, no matter what, hold up in faith. See me, I'm still alive. God have blessed me, I'll get the foot. In Jesus' name, I will live. Right now, I'm not even thinking about violence, even though the guy who shot me, I know him, a guy that usually come to my house and eat out of my pot. God go with him, I left them to God. God alone have a vengeance. Me not take up nobody blood from my shoulder. Because at the end of the day, I've got kids and I don't want a bad blessing take my children. So peace and love and unity may I bring me, I preach for. No more violence, too much bloodshed, man, too much bloodshed. Right now, I just giving thanks, man. We need to stop the killing, brethren, the senseless killing, life, and we can give people life. People who are the evil, to stop and pray, Lord God, and the way, the glory and the destiny. So just humble yourself and have faith. I want to live, see? God bless me, may I live, because my mind done reach a level where I know so I have to go through, I have to just live and go through and continue with life, no matter the struggles. So all of you just live good and be good and just remember God, I have faith because I'm here and I'm not going anywhere. Life or death, I'm there with God to the end.